So Labour Party rules about triggering a leadership contest when there is already a leader require 20% of Labour MPs to support a challenger. That's 81 MPs. So it can't be triggered unless 81 MPs formally nominate a challenger to Keir Starmer. And that's one of the reasons why it's been in stasis for a lot of the week, despite discussions about a potential leadership challenge, because it has to meet that threshold. And at the moment, the Prime Minister is trying to see it out. The cost to Labour is obviously the view that the electorate might have of the turmoil that a leadership contest might bring. That's certainly the argument that Keir Starmer has been using as to why there shouldn't be a contest, because it means Labour talking amongst itself about what is the future. It does detract from their ability to get on with governing, mostly because it's a massive political distraction for them, as well as the time involved in campaigning, going around the country, holding events and so forth, at a time at which there's quite a lot of governing to be doing.
Now, we are closely watching gilts this morning after Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham cleared the first hurdle on a path that could lead him to holding the keys to Downing Street. He still has a long and uncertain way to go, but borrowing costs are in focus amid speculation he may favour looser fiscal policy if he succeeds. SocGen's Kit Jukes set out what a Burnham premiership could look like for Britain's yield curve.
The reality, though, in this time is, for example, if you got Andy Burnham in as Prime Minister at some point down the road, it may be he doesn't want to be reckless fiscally. He just wants to shift towards much more aggressive taxation of wealthier people to finance some of his plans. So the route for a politician who wants to shift politics to the left and not scare the gilt market is to not over-borrow, it's to redistribute aggressively.
Well, let's take another look at those gilts this morning. I can see that the 5 years actually moving. Elsewhere, we've got the bounce, the tune of what, 1.5% roughly, 1.3 on the 10-year. The biggest moves, the 5 years still this morning, above that 2% swing is what you're witnessing. And let's get out to Ritika for more. Ritika, we've got still fast-moving pieces here in the backdrop. Just walk us through what you're hearing there from number 10.
Yeah, Karen, well, the King of the North, or AKA the Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham, now has a path back to Westminster, but it is not so clear-cut. To get you up to speed, he's confirmed that he will be asking permission of Labour's NEC to stand in the by-election of Makerfield after the MP over there agreed to step aside for him, paving the way for him to potentially challenge the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. And earlier, as we know, Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, he resigned and gave a blistering attack on the Prime Minister in a letter to him, calling for a leadership contest, but stopping short of mounting one himself. Perhaps he didn't get the support that he needed. So it looked like the Prime Minister was going to be able to bide himself a little bit more time, but still Andy Burnham remaining the biggest threat to him now, given that he does have the most support amongst Labour MPs. Still, though, we know it's not going to be an easy path back for Burnham. The seat is certainly not a safe one. He's going to face stiff competition from Reform. They've already come out and said that they're going to be throwing everything behind this by-election. But if he does win, I mean, it does show that Andy Burnham does have the means to take on Nigel Farage's party. So that gives him a clearer path back here to number 10, certainly. But again, the first hurdle is going to be the NEC. Will he be blocked from running again? The reports are that Keir Starmer is not going to get in his way this time, because he would face a lot of pressure from some of those senior MPs, the likes of Angela Rayner and Lucy Powell there, would be pressuring him. And Angela Rayner also hasn't entirely taken herself out of the ring yet. So again, lots of moving parts, though. We're still, despite all of the drama, the political turmoil this week, we're still in a holding pattern. We don't have a leadership contest triggered yet, and Keir Starmer is still very much the Prime Minister.
For the opposition parties, I think pointing to an internal political battle inside the Labour Party, disagreements about the future, what types of policies they should be doing, should they go more left-wing or not. All of these things are obviously going to be areas that opposition parties will want to exploit. At the moment, they don't need to do anything. The Labour Party are themselves creating the narrative around this, and opposition parties don't need to do much at all to exploit that. But it's definitely something that they will build on and use in future elections and keep hammering the government with. And if there does end up being a change of Prime Minister, then similarly they will probably attack that person as not having the mandate of having won a general election. It's difficult to tell where the power actually lies on this, because we have been seeing a standoff effectively between one key potential challenger, who is Wes Streeting, the current Health Secretary, who seems to want to make a move, but we haven't seen whether he's got the numbers. And obviously Keir Starmer, the incumbent Prime Minister, who has got a reasonable amount of support because those who don't want to see a leadership challenge at the moment. So we don't know how much Keir Starmer still has the support of the whole of his MPs at the moment. There are a lot of people who haven't declared one way or another. We also don't know where power might lie if others are able to enter the race, because there's a lot of people being talked about, but not yet saying they would definitely step forward. And then there's Andy Burnham, who is currently the mayor in Manchester, but he's not a sitting MP, and Labour Party rules would require him to be a sitting MP to be on the ballot paper. Certainly people are talking him up, but again, because he's not an MP, he can't yet stand. We don't know how much support he's got. And all of this is about MPs at the moment. If a leadership challenge leads to a leadership contest, then it's up to the Labour Party and the members to decide. And, you know, people have been polling, but in the reality of the contest, we don't really know where people might go. It will be a lot about stopping one particular candidate, but it also might be about the way in which the contest is run and the arguments that people make during the course of it.
Benches on this side representing all parts of the United Kingdom, packed full of members who respect each other and support the government. That I wish to emphasise today, it is the principled one.
That's good. No, we're really making start to congratulations on such a...
Yeah, it was incredible. It was incredible.
You look like you've been there years already. This is great, yeah. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. But, no, it's been great. I've had the chance to go to Scotland all night.
You have that sense of kind of calm, a bit more like usher.
Yeah. And it's not all performance. Yeah.
Have the resources to fight for that voice, and who...
You said you wanted unity and stability. Does that mean Keir Starmer has your full support to stay on as Prime Minister?
It's up to the Labour Party leadership, so which is called the National Executive Committee, to set the timetable for any election contest. So they can decide to go long and take a long time over it. But it's tricky to do that in the current climate because there'll be a lot of pressure to get it over and done quickly. So it's hard to see how somebody who's not yet an MP is able to take part in a contest if it's triggered quite rapidly. On the other hand, if the Prime Minister at some point did decide there's too much weight against him and announced that he was stepping down, he might be able to set a timetable. And that's certainly what some people would like to happen, to allow for Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Manchester, to be able to come to Parliament, try and win a by-election, a seat in Parliament in the first place, which is no easy task in itself, and then be able to join in any future leadership contest. But honestly, it's all up in the air at the moment.